Hello, everybody, and you obviously everybody's aware of me now. I would imagine if you're watching this video. It's been exactly 6 months now since I've been on this Manjaro journey, and I just wanted to give a 6 month overall picture of where I am in my journey now, um, and give my honest opinion about you know the start of it, what I do, and all of the things I've encountered. Because I think that this could be a very good video for somebody who might be at the 6 month mark, or again somebody who is thinking about starting. So, um, where did the journey begin? Now I did a video. My very first video talking about Manjaro was you know 2 months ago now. And at that point, I'd been on it for 4 months. And the whole reason as to why I started on Mounjaro in the first place was because turned 40 in December, and went for my your health check. It's like a under the hood check, isn't it? Like a human MOT, sort of say. So yeah, I went for that. Done your bloods, took your weight and everything, and went through everything. And it became blatantly obvious that there was an issue when they looked at my bloods and I got the results, and they thought, yeah, they're high. There's a possibility of diabetes. So I went for another check, just to make sure. Came back high, not high, but over the threshold to be classified as type 2 diabetic. So I went for a consultancy with somebody who had recommended that I go onto some sort of medication for diabetes. At that point, I'd already made the decision that I was going to try and lose the weight myself. And a little bit of context was my partner Catherine started her journey in January. At the very start of January, I started at the end of January. Now, she is 4 months older than me, so she would have been for the health check last year. Found out that her bloods were, she was type 2 diabetic. So she actually went on to the medication. But I decided, thanks to talking to her and doing my own research, that I didn't want to go on medication. So that was my personal choice. Whether you guys think that's the right or the wrong thing to do, that's your opinion. I just decided that it wasn't for me. I didn't want to go on that. So yeah, looked at everything. Obviously heard about the Manjaro. My mum and Catherine actually started doing it in January, and they swore by it. They were starting on the 2.5 dose. So I decided that I was going to start on it. Bear in mind that me and Catherine, as well as doing the Mounjaro journey, we still go to Slimming World, and we've been at Slimming World for the last 2 years. Lost weight, put it on, lost weight, put it on, blah, 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 usual same old story. So yeah, started on the 25th of January. That's when I got my first pen, and I noticed no difference. Catherine swore by the fact that the food noise was gone. Didn't work for me. As I've mentioned in previous videos, it's, it's like trying to tranquilize a massive big animal with a small dose. And let's be honest, at the time I was near 20. I was over 28.5 stone. And I'm not embarrassed to tell everybody that. Why would I be? This is my journey. This is my weight loss journey, and the whole point is to be honest with people. But I sit here now, 3 stone lighter. Do you know what I mean? So I'm pleased. I'm happy. But anyway, yeah, 28.5 stone. In the higher end of 28.5 stone. So I was probably about 28 stone 9 or 10. Heaviest I've ever been in my life. I'm not proud of the fact that I got that heavy. And at that point, I was really suffering with anxiety. I couldn't bear wearing a pair of jeans. I couldn't bear being out in public. I couldn't bear going out with my partner. I couldn't bear going out with my daughter. Couldn't bear doing anything. Going into the office was like frightening, because I work at home 3 days a week, and I go, 2 days a week, and I go in the office 3 days a week where I work. And I couldn't bear it. Couldn't bear the idea. And I've never felt like that before, and that was down to the fact of knowing that I pushed myself too far. I put too much weight on. I've been on this cycle of being on a diet most of my adult life, if I'm being brutally honest. And I've lost a good chunk of weight in the past. Felt marvelous about myself, and then took my eye off the ball. Got comfortable. Got into a new relationship, like when I got with Catherine. I've been with Catherine for almost 5 years now. Um, and then she was on a journey before I met her. I was on a journey then. At the time we were both running together, and then during COVID, and then obviously after COVID, we never really had the opportunity to enjoy the fruits of what you do when you start dating with people. Do you know what I mean? You go for meals and stuff like that, and go at the bar. So we just did that and really overindulged. Anyway, getting back to the point. So obviously I started on the 2.5 pen, and it didn't really work. So I stayed on 2.5 for a month. Moved up to 5. 5 is where the weight started to come off. I was on that for 2 months, and then I moved up to 7.5, which would have been my fourth month, and no difference. Didn't notice the difference at all. The food now started coming back. The weight loss slowed, but I was still losing a pound a week. And then I moved up to 10, and my first dosage on 10 was absolutely fabulous, as I've said in my previous videos. And I felt great. Obviously, after that, lost another good chunk of weight, and then I moved on to my second 10 dosage, and that's where I've had the side effects. Bear in mind, up until this point, I hadn't had a single side effect, not one. Not a single thing had went wrong. I'd heard of all the side effects, such as feeling sick, diarrhea, sulfur burps. I'd not had a single side effect up until my second 10 milligram pen. So I've just finished that second pen, and I have to be honest, every single time I took a jab out of the 4, it just made me feel ill every single time. And I've said in previous videos, I didn't realize if this was, I didn't think if this was a bad pen, or whether it was just a reaction to it, or, as I've come to understand, obviously through this community, was it me taking too much of it, too much, too much, obviously within a short period of time. Obviously, I do it weekly, but it was, should I really split it and do it over 10 days? I don't know. So yeah, side effects, really, that's all that's happened. And when I'm on a typical day, with Mounjaro, what do I eat? I eat a lot of protein yogurts, eggs. We have a lot of chicken. Because me and my partner both work 2 jobs on a Monday and Tuesday and a Wednesday. We get up in the morning, start work at 8:30, when I'm not in the office, and then I'll do my second job from 5 till 10. So it's a long day. So obviously for tea, we don't have much time. So we rely on the protein meals from Aldi and Lidl, the frozen meals, which might not be the best, and people might tell me off for having them, but they still don't have. They're not calorific. They taste all right. They're nice, and they've got the protein in that people say that you need to have. And I drink about 4 or 5 bottles. I've got an Air Up bottle, which is 450 mils. So I don't know if you've heard of Air Up, but basically it's my metal bottle. So obviously I can put hot and cold in there if I wanted to, but I just use it for cold. And it comes with like this like flavor thing on the top. So it's all about when you like take a sip, it gives you like a flavor. So it's like telling your brain that you're having like juice when you're really just having water. Because let's face it, nobody likes drinking water. So yeah, I don't. And if we do have a cheat meal, which I'm not going to sit here and say we never do, we do. Usually it's on a Friday. Or the weekend we'll have a fake away from the Slimming World books. So yeah, I sit here and I've lost 3 stone, and I'm really pleased with my journey so far. And I know people can sit or can say or whatever in the comments, oh well, you've only lost 3 stone, and I sometimes feel like that. I feel like 3 stone doesn't seem like a lot, but 3 stone. I sit here now about 25 stone 10. So I'm about, it's 3 stone, but like I feel so much better about myself. You know, my clothes fit. I'm going on holiday soon. My clothes fit, and you know, the stuff that I took away to go on holiday last year that didn't fit was like 4XL. Um, didn't fit. That all fits lovely now, and I'm even down a size. You know, which is fabulous. You know, I never used to be wearing clothes like that. I used to always be an XL guy. You know, always used to hover around about 18, 19 stone, around about my 20s. And then I started creeping into the 20 stones and then got higher and higher, unfortunately. But my journey is 6 months in and it's still ongoing. Um, and I'm going to progress it and let everybody know how it goes. And I sit here now truly and honestly a much happier person than I was in January. And I'm not going to say it's all thanks to Manjaro. It isn't. It's obviously you've still got to put the work in. You've still got to, um, you know, have the belief in yourself, and you've still got to have the willpower. But that Manjaro, it helps. You know, with that food noise. You know, I'm no longer like a bear trying to raid the cupboards. You know what I mean? When I'm hungry, looking for a snack. um, you know, it doesn't take away your hunger. It completely, because you know why how could it, but it stops you from thinking about food as much, and that's what it does for me. It you know, people's experiences will be different, but I sit here truly happy with the situation that I'm in, and you know, I couldn't be happier, really couldn't be happier. But there's more work to be done, you know. It's not, I'm nowhere near finished. You know, I would, in an ideal world, I'd love to get down to being under 20 stone again, and I will get there. It'll take a while, but I think if I can really focus and knuckle down, I could get another 2 or 3 stone off by the end of the year, and that would be 6 stone in a year. And I'd be absolutely delighted with myself. But yeah, I just wanted to do a video based on the fact that it was my 6 month anniversary, literally 2 or 3 days ago since I started taking this. And I thought, you know, 6 months is a good video for people to look at. Like, see if you've just discovered my channel, and you know, you're looking for somebody's experience, and I pride myself on giving an honest story. But yeah, I hope everybody is doing well, and I hope everybody lets me know how they're getting on in their journeys down below in the comments. And if you like these videos, please stick around, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future.